Hello Year 11 and welcome to another Get On With Maths video. You'll notice today it's me, Mr Hussey, not Mr Foley. So on my first video, hopefully I'm not going to mess this up too much. So I thought I'd start with quite a nice easy topic, and this was question 1, paper 1 in the November exam, and that's product of prime factors. So like all these watch, try, check videos, what I'll do is I'll go through an example for you, then I'll show you a new question. I want you to pause it, I want you to have a go at it, and then I'll go through the answers as well, so hopefully you'll pick up some marks. Very often this is 3 marks and it's really, really easy, so let's get started. So the question says, express 120 as the product of its powers of its prime factors. Okay, so it sounds really, really mathsy, but I want you to think about what words you know in there and what words are important. Obviously, this 120 here is going to be important, and this sort of end bit here with the prime factors. Okay, so you'll see as soon as I go through this question, you'll recognise it. But what I want you to start to do, you've got loads of space to work it out, is I want you to write out the number. Okay, so 120. Your next step then is to think of 2 numbers that multiply together to make 120. So you'll be sat there now and you'll think of loads that come to your mind straight away. There's loads for this number. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for me because I'm a little bit simple, and I'm going to just do 2 and 60, because 2 times 60 is 120. Now, at this stage here, you're going to look at your diagram so far, and you're going to decide if any of the numbers you've just used are prime numbers. Remember, a prime number only has 2 factors, the number 1 and itself. So if I look at these 2 then, 2 is a prime number. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to circle that 2. I'm going to look at 60 now. Is 60 prime? No, it's not. So what are 2 numbers that can times together to make 60? Let's go this time for something else. And let's go for 4 and 15. Now, at that stage there, I could have gone for 2 and 30. I could have done 10 and 6. Okay, so there are loads and loads of different combinations. Now I'm looking at this one here. Okay, look at those 2 numbers. Is 4 a prime number? No, it's not, because 2 times 2 is 4, and you know both of those are prime, so you're going to circle both of those. And what about 15? Now it's an odd number, so I can't just do divide by 2, but my next option would be looking at dividing by 3, which I know works for this one, because I was good and I learnt my 3 times table. 3 is prime, and so is 5. At this stage here, you're going to have picked up 2 out of 3 marks, okay? But to get that easy last mark, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write out the numbers in order, okay? So go from smallest to biggest and just put a times sign in between each of them. So I've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. When you've got that, okay, I'd like to make that a little bit simpler for me. I know I've got 1, 2, 3 of these, they're times in. So up on my answer up here, I can write 2 to the power of 3 times by 3 times by 5. If you are unsure at any point with this question, you can check it by just timesing those numbers back out together. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, again times 3, and times 5. And if you get your final answer then of 120, you know you've done something right. What I'll also say very quickly is that if you break down your tree, there are so many different combinations you can do. Just try different ones out. I started with 2 and 60. Okay, I started with 2 and 60 here. You might have done something slightly different, 3 and 40 or something like that. So what's going to happen now, guys, I'm going to put up another question really, really similar to this. I want you to look at the question, pause the video, try it, write it out, and then I'll put the answer and I'll go through that one as well. So your next question says express 108 as the product of powers of its prime factors. Pause the video now and have a quick go. Okay guys, hopefully you've been through that one now. You've got an answer that you're trying to sort of hopefully is right, and let's see now if we can work through this one together. What I will say just before I go through it, your tree may be different than mine. Okay, as you break down into those prime factors, your tree may look different than mine. So hang on, wait and see until the final answer and see if you got the same thing. So, I'm starting with 108. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? I missed it. Starting with 108, okay? So I'm going to write out my number, and then I'm going to start breaking that down. So, for me, because it's an even number, okay, and I like things to be as simple as possible, I'm going to break that down by halving it. So, 2, and what times is by 2 to make 108? That's going to be 54. Okay, so Either of those prime? Yes, the 2 is. Right, at this stage here, 2 numbers at times to make 54. I could go for the obvious one and I could half it, but I'm feeling a little bit adventurous, so I'm going to do instead 6 and 9, okay? Because everyone knows their 9 times table. So, if I've got 6 now, is that prime? No, it's not. So, I can break that down further into 2 and 3. I'm going to circle both of those because they're both prime. I know my prime numbers. And then 9. Now, lots and lots of times I see this mistake. People think 9 is a prime number. It looks prime, doesn't it? It looks like one of those horrible odd numbers. It's not, though. Okay, obviously 9 breaks down into 3 and 3. Okay, and then you can circle both of those. My next step then is to write them out. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Can you make that look a little bit nicer? Of course you can. So you can have 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 3. Make sure I add that in there and don't miss off my marks. So, I've gone through that one now. This is a really nice question that you can practice at home on your own. All you need to do is write out 3 or 4 numbers and then just see if you can break them down and express them as products of their primes. Check them, check your own answers by just timesing those prime numbers back together and see if you make your original answer. And if you do, guys, then you've cracked this one already. So remember to watch, try, check with our videos, okay? Everything you do now is going to make a massive difference to that grade in the future. Thank you, guys.